in Platte National Park, Oklahoma by Alice Terrell. It's oil. That hangs in the guest bedroom at home.
Oh, from
Talented people in my family.
Well, I'm telling you.
Oh, Christmas tree. They're all ready.
And this,
Got them all over.
this is Alice's
more like Margaret.
resume,
And
and
she had Margaret.
this is flower, which
But
is
see, most of these
etching.
were done in 1894.
She gonna get another book.
That's like that one I showed Marinella out at the house. I have one that's not quite that dark, but it's the same
I
flower.
wonder if that isn't Mr. Pope. Then Logonder remembers.
Oh, here's me.
Now we
Hi.
go
I never
upstairs,
get
that's
in.
the gift shop there. Can you see this from down there?
She couldn't help us.
This is a scene in the Adirondack Mountains of upstate New York. It's a watercolor that Alice did
My glasses.
when they were in Schenectady.
Yeah, there's more. Oh, they're a
Did they live there?
collection, and then Entergy.
Did they live there?
Yeah, they lived in
It was
Schenectady
real
for
funny. Debbie never found them.
2 years, I guess,
They worked for what, GE,
when he was on that GE training
And
program.
she called
is there a
me.
light?
You want to get about these? I said, "Oh,
That one up there is the Explorers and Oil by me.
work that someone told us. That was our first thinking, that might be as far as you got, and you didn't hear the rest of it. And then,
And up there, one of Marinella's.
You want to get
on
closer?
it, pictures, she just calls it Texas Blue.
Texas Blue, yeah. I was kind of running out of names, of bluebonnet names.
He sent the girls down there.
Nesting Time by Nancy.
It's just uncanny to me that 7 out of those children to be artists.
And this is Misty's Nap Time watercolor by Marinella.
Is that right?
Yeah, that, one of the kittens that was dropped in the park looked like that, and I learned it so much. But another man decided he'd take her to his grandson.
This one over here is Lantern, Rope and Can, Pen and Ink by Martha.
Yeah, I like that too.
Well,
Does it go on in there?
the old can looks like it's a little bit off, but it was sort of bent and battered. And
Those are the ones they found in the house.
Pretty old.
Tale of the Sunflower by
Oh, it's like
He'll
that.
take it to his grandchild.
and Bob's Chickens, Pen and Ink. I like that. But I like the one he did better of Daddy coming out of the chicken house and the old
Yeah,
hen
I like
standing
that.
soaking her feet in the water.
It's standing down at the office.
It's still out in the office, yeah. From Mom's Trunk, acrylic, Marinella. Those are supposed to be pictures out of the trunk and old love letters and
Harmonic
Oh, you can make
duets.
up your own story.
what is that?
Harmonic duet.
Harmonic
Or
duets.
duets rather. You can
Unlock
figure,
it.
this was probably, these were the two, this was Mama and younger, and this was her husband, and this is Mama. You don't know what happened to Daddy, but the children, or it could be them when they were younger, and this is, they did
Could be
duets.
the grandparents.
Could be the grandparents, so you can make up your own
Yeah.
story.
Over here,
I
you
like the geese.
have a honey locust base.
Oh, that's pretty.
That part of the
That looks like he did a
Yeah.
palette or something
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That part of the mark on
Yeah. And I like his 4 ducks.
it. Actually,
Goose.
there were only 2 and they made 5 out of it. In the picture.
Well, are they ducks or geese? Are they?
4 ducks.
Yeah, duck.
4 ducks and a goose.
No,
I'd say that's a
They
duck.
kind of look like a cross, don't they?
Yeah.
There might be one of those
The
funky
neck
ducks.
seems longer, or sort of.
I forget the name of that duck that has the bulb like thing
Bulb
on
in
it.
the front.
Yeah. Big ducks.
And this is fascinating.
Muskogee, that's those ugly ones. Those are the ones that look kind of
This
like
is
a
ugly.
bulb. So that wouldn't be Muskogee.
Oh, What's that?
There's a wormy persimmon vase.
Oh, that persimmon.
Yeah, I like that.
It's as light as a feather.
Don't touch.
Got a lot of earth.
Do not touch our place.
That's what they usually tell you.
Turn all that through this little hole right up here on the top. All the insides have to be taken out through that little hole.
Oh, good
It
gracious.
takes a long time to do it.
Now you know why he made those little special tools.
And the tree grows this way. This is the way the tree grows.
Okay, so you're whatever. Huh.
So it
Takes
makes it
patience and
sort of football shaped whenever
a
you,
firm
Yeah.
whenever it
I didn't know
does
we
it.
had this much art on there.
That's what
I got
Nancy
more
said.
than that. It's only a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nancy has rooms full of it at home.
Becky's.
Well, I've got,
Mother and Fold Pencil by Becky.
That's
I've got the
good.
studio full.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
You can hear that old horse snort.
That's marvelous. That's that.
There's that hat.
There's that hat. That's right.
Nancy wanted to call that something else, but I call it Mexican hat dance. It looks like
Looks
there's
like they're
motion
dancing around.
Salsa.
and that these things are dancing around.
Yeah.
This is a tomato, in case you can't recognize it.
I do like a tomato.
I recognize the tomato.
Some chokeberries. Ooh, horses.
I like that one. That's horses feeding in the pasture on the old Kentucky farms, Alice says. I don't recognize the
I don't
horses.
recognize the horses.
She
That's
put them
right.
on the farm.
That's an
They're-
artist privilege.
Yeah.
They probably were her horses.
It had a little creek through there.
This is Bob's fox cannoning.
Little foxy.
Alice sent us a picture of the fox that came up in her yard, or comes up in her yard and eats.
What kind of
And
fox?
those are her
That's the all.
parrots. She calls it surprise feeders. It's toucans or parrots one, I don't know which. And that's the end.
Is that it? Boy, I do have a lot in here, don't y'all?
Judson.
Oh, just
Judsoni. Not sure. Maybe that was supposed to be here, I think.
And this, I don't know. This shouldn't have anything by it. Let's see, but it's probably something out in Harding.
Which is a strange place to have it.
And that's supposed to be the feet of Christ over there. I think charcoal, aren't they, Bobby? Bob?
Bobby?
Bobby? Bobby Glenn. Bobby Glenn. That's what Mama named him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what is that? I forgot.
They're probably gonna put,
I think this is where they teach classes when they teach classes here.
Old banister. I won't slide down. It'll hold me.
This is
Not as light as I used to be.
This is the room where they teach art classes. When they
So nice,
somebody-
nice little music.
Inflation was and that type of thing.
I assume that's what this thing does, just tells the story of the information on that country when you touch it with that stylus. I'm gonna try it out before I give it to them.
Eloise,
Yes.
can you tell them the history of the Black House?
Yeah, this house was begun probably 1867, and it was a two added onto it, and it was completed in 1872. Yeah, the last year almost of reconstruction. It ended in 1874, and he married. He was Benjamin Clayton Black was a real Searcyan. He was mayor of Searcy. He was sheriff of Searcy. He was postmaster. He was on the board of directors of the University of Arkansas. And he was also a Civil War general. And I imagine it was the Battle of Whitney's Lane. I have to look that up to be sure, but he lost the battle. Of course, we lost all of them around Searcy, but we lost the battle. And he married Molly somebody right after the Civil War. And they went to New Orleans on their honeymoon.
Ah.
And that's when she fell in love with this Italianate architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So they ordered this stairway from France.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
It was shipped over, of course, to New Orleans, up the Mississippi by boat, and then over on the White River to Georgetown, where it connected with the Red River. And then it was brought in back here. The dock used to be behind Oak Grove Cemetery.
Searcy land.
Searcy, and brought it in back there, and on a wagon, you know, horse-drawn wagons. I would have loved to have been in the woodwork, wouldn't you? To have seen this gorgeous stairway being pulled on that wagon. But it's still in good shape.
It is.
Wow.
And that's hence the reason for the gingerbread and the Italianate architecture. The floors are original, except some that E.D. changed when he used this for a real estate office. Of course, you can tell the windows are the same. My husband,
Oiled, aren't they?
yeah, they creak. My husband wrote the history of Searcy in 1976, bicentennial tribute. That's what the city chose to do. And we came over here. Miss Lorena was still living, the last survivor of 11 children. And I don't remember how many boys and girls, pretty evenly divided maybe. And she was interesting. She was 98 then, I believe, because she lived to be 101 in 1976. She was 98. I think that's right. She was sitting right over there, and I kind of roamed around here. But while Ray was, it was an audio tape, and he finished one side of it, and he said, well, Miss Rena, I'm going to quit now. He said, I know I've just worn you out. And she said, wore me out nothing, boy. Says, I'll wear you out. He just turned the tape over and let her talk. And it was hard to keep her focused. What he wanted to ask her about, she didn't particularly want to talk about it. She wanted to talk about, she lived in D.C. and then came back here, and she wanted to tell about D.C., you know. So he had to go back and get her focused again, and she had a little squeaky little voice. It's in the library, in the Arkansas room, on file, and I check it out sometimes and listen to it again. But one thing I heard her say to him, he found out that Mr. Black and their family were very, very zealous Baptist, and he said, did you know Rex Humbard? She said, yes, I did. And she says, and I didn't like him. And my husband said, well, Miss Rena, why didn't you like him? And she says, I'll tell you why. Said, when my sister got married, he did the wedding. And he said, during the wedding, he said, do you promise to love, honor, and obey this man? I said, she was a women's liber way ahead of her time. We just cracked up. Another thing she told us, there was an orchard that ran, and somebody else substantiated this that I've talked to since Ray died. She said it ran from Oak to Locust on this, I assume back to Market too. So she said they looked out over a fruit orchard. She also said that when she came, she said, Dr. Muncie, when I came back here from Washington, said, do you know what? The city of Searcy had covered up Papa's Walk. And y'all be sure and look at that sometimes. It's a cobblestone walk out to the west of the building here.